Hello and welcome to this video series of Propagate. I'm Luke Perkin, the author of Propagate, and in this video I'm just going to go and explain what Propagate is, why you might want it. Propagate is a tool for Unity 3D that allows level designers to place audio sources in their levels that realistically propagate. They take into account your geometry, corners, doors, etc., and it will modify the volume and the frequency accordingly, all in real time, all super fast and efficient. Okay, before I get started on a tutorial on how to use Propagate though, I just want to explain the way audio works in Unity by default and why that's not really great for immersion. So I have a sort of a spaceship scene set up here, and in this room with the red light I have a audio source, and that audio source will be playing an alarm sound, and then we're going to start in this hub area here. I'm just going to drop right in so I can explain as I go. Okay, so right off the bat we can hear the audio source, and that's because the default audio sources in Unity do not have any kind of occlusion, and what I mean by that is it will not take into account any geometry between the listener and the audio source. So we have this solid metal door between me and the alarm, and we can still hear it quite clearly. When this door opens, you expect the sound to suddenly get a lot louder. It doesn't. Another thing about the way sound works in the real world is that lower frequencies diffract better around corners than high frequencies. So we've got this corner over here, and you should expect to hear the lower frequencies and the high frequencies be cut off as you keep going around corners. Another thing also is technically when we go into this room here, where as the crow flies closer to the audio source than if we go here, but obviously it's a much longer route that the audio has to take to get us to here, so Propagate takes that into account as well. So I'm just going to jump out here, and I'm going to disable the Unity audio source, and I'm going to enable all of the Propagate ones to demo this. So the way, all you have to do to get Propagate up and running is basically you set up a sort of a node map throughout your level. It's very similar to setting up light probes. If you ever used light probes before, you just plop down a bunch of nodes, and then you put in your Propagate audio sources, and then off you go. It does all that for you. You don't have to worry about anything else. So let's jump into this, shall we? Okay, so I have a bunch of audio sources in here. In each room I've got some music playing. If you listen carefully you can just about make the beat. So let's start moving towards that alarm sound again. You can just hear it again. The high frequencies are cut off, so you can just hear the lower end of the frequency spectrum from the alarm through these thick doors. And pay attention as these doors open. Another thing the sound sources are doing is they're actually changing their position in the world to better reflect the perceived position of the audio and not the actual position of the audio. So as normal Unity audio source, the alarm will be panned to your right headphone right now, but actually because of this corner the perceived position is a bit further left than it actually is in the world, and Propagate simulates that for you as well. Oh, I'm locked out. Okay, so let's try some other rooms. Okay, so that concludes our first video on Propagate. Hopefully you can see the value of this tool. It really does help making immersive soundscapes for your game, and it avoids having to reset up triggers and mixer snapshots because levels change throughout the course of game development. In the next video, I'll be discussing how to set up your level for Propagate. See you next time.